Hello Chailey Heritage, it's Sally. Today I'm going to show you how to make an avatar out of loo roll dressed in Iron Age costume. This year's pretty special for Patina. We get to try all sorts of different new things. I hope that some of you at home or at school can join in and make something for our virtual parade. Please be very careful if you're making something that you're wearing old clothes that don't mind getting sticky, and you cover your surfaces with newspaper, and you're careful with any sharp things like scissors. Now I'm going to show you step by step how to make this Iron and Bronze Age lady or man. They both wore tunics. So what we're going to do is I'm going to talk you through making the person first. They've got a tunic here made of rough cloth, a belt, they've got jewellery like a torque necklace and a bracelet, long hair. I've put weapons on the back of the chair here, pikes and a sword, and on the wheels I've done some Celtic designs because I'm saying this is a Celtic Iron Age Britain. So that's what we'll be making right now. First of all, let's make the person. So it's meant to be one of you, and you start with a loo roll. That's the base of your body. And then you get some newspaper, scrunch it up. We're going to make her face. It's good. I keep saying her, but it could be a boy. Scrunch up the face. We'll try and keep one side smooth. I'm going to tuck up this bit at the back and make some to the neck. And then get some masking tape and stick it all together. This is going to be your character's head. Now, masking tape is great because you can paint over it. You might want to paint your character's face later. If you do want to paint it, don't use sellotape because that's really hard to paint over. So there you see, I've just scrunched up the newspaper and taped it together hard so it's stiff. And I've left one side as smooth as possible so I can draw the face on later. Then you can pop it in your loo roll, leave a bit of a neck and tape it in. Now, with my original Bronze Age person, I wanted to pad her out a bit. So I got another piece of newspaper and scrunched it up and gave her a bit of a tummy. But you're making yourself, so you know how much padding you need. I'm not going to bother with this one. But what she does need is arms and legs, and that's the same thing. That's newspaper, but instead of scrunching it, you roll it up into a long, thin piece. And then you stick it underneath and tape it together and bend it at the knee and at the foot. Put a little bit of tape on to keep it there. I've made two legs now. I'm going to stick them on my little character. Here we are. You'll be sitting down, so put it down the bottom there. Just tape it on. You might want to give the end a squash so it fits under the bottom flat and doesn't tip your person over. Now the little character has legs stuck in at the bottom and it needs some arms. I'm going to squeeze my loo roll at the top to make some shoulders, and then I'm going to make some arms. First thing I'm going to do is get some hands. See, I've drawn a hand on this cardboard and it's got a long bit of wrist. I'm going to fold the cardboard over and cut out this hand, and then I'll have two hands the same. I've got my little hands. The next thing I'm going to do is get a piece of newspaper and I'm going to make it the length I think my arm should be, and I'm going to put a blob of glue on the end of my arm and roll it into the newspaper. Just secure it with a bit of tape. Now I've got my arms, I'm going to fix them to my little character's shoulders, again with tape. And at this point you can start posing the arms. You can bend it at the elbow, decide if you want your hand on your lap or maybe on the arm of your wheelchair, and see how you'd like to pose your little character, because he's not going to move that much, or she's not going to move that much after she's done. There you go. Here's my little person, all ready to begin decorating. Now, this is the fun bit. This is where you get to really play around. With this character here, I painted her face. I gave her a little nose just by pinching a bit of cardboard and taping that on. You could put a nose on this one as well, or you could just draw on your features. That one was painted, but I'll show you some of the others that I made for other schools and how I did their faces. This lady has crepe paper squeezed over her face, and I've just drawn her face on. This lady just has A4 white paper squeezed over her face, and I've drawn on that one as well. So you can cover your face with whatever skin tone you want it to have. Might want to make it look like you. With paint, which you can mix yourself. If you are mixing paint, make sure you've left enough for the hands as well, and the ankles if you and the legs, because they did have trousers in the Iron Age, but it's summer now, so they'd probably just be wearing their tunics. When you've got it all painted or covered in tissue paper to cover up the newspaper, then you can think about the details. You can put some hair on. I've used wool for this one. I just used fabric for the other lady, or you could use fur fabric or pipe cleaners and see what looks good as hair for your character. And then you can do the face as well. You could just draw it on, or you could stick googly eyes or bits of material, or pipe cleaners make great eyebrows. The clothes, the Iron Age clothes, I just made a tunic. And what I got was a piece of brown felt. I folded it in half and I cut a hole in the top for the character's head. And I literally just popped it on like that. Now this is your puppet's tunic. I have to tuck it under its arm carefully. I don't want to pull its arm off at this stage. And then I got a piece of wool and plaited it to make the belt. So when it's all painted, you can put some material. They did have dull colours in the Iron Age. They had some dye, vegetable dyes though, so nothing too bright. But I've just gone for brown felt because I thought it looked nice. And this girl here, she's got a plaited belt. And then I made jewellery. You see this jewellery here? So a traditional Iron Age necklace there. It's called a torque, and she's got a bracelet on as well. And I made those out of my Easter egg wrappers. So you might not have any of these left. You might have eaten all your Easter eggs already, but I saved mine. And you might have tin foil or something you could make jewellery out of, or a pipe cleaner would work just as well. So that is how you make your Iron Age person. I also made a wheelchair. I was imagining you all going down the high street and how we would decorate your wheelchairs for the Bronze and Iron Age. You might already have a toy wheelchair or a small wheelchair that you can decorate. I had to make mine out of scratch. So in case you need to do that, I just got a cardboard box and chopped one side off, and then these side bits I cut that shape out of. And this is where you've got to be a bit careful with your scissors, because I did stab through my finger cutting this hole. Obviously do that on the other side as well. After that, I cut down a little way at the back of the wheelchair, and then I cut 4 strips of cardboard the same length, which I made into crosses to support the wheels. You can stick these on with glue as I did, or you can staple them, or use tape. Now the next thing you've got to do is draw 2 big circles for your back wheels. I just drew round my tape, but you could use a bowl or a mug. And then 2 smaller circles, which will make the centre of the shield on the wheels. I thought it was nice that they looked a bit 3D. And then 2 circles for these smaller wheels. Try and make them the same size if you can. It's a good idea when you've made your first cross to lay the sticks for the other side over the top and try and match them up. and then your chair should stand up of its own accord when you put it on a surface. When you've cut all of those out, you can stick your smallest circle in the middle of the biggest one to make that shield shape. And then you've got these tiny ones too. And now's a good time to decorate them before you stick them on the wheelchair. I looked up some Celtic designs on the internet, and there were some really nice little shield designs. I just tried to copy those for my big wheelchair here. Now, when you're sticking them on, the big wheel, if you line up the bottom with the bottom of your cross, and line up the small wheel with the bottom of this side, then your wheelchair will still stand up. So here are my wheels stuck on. Now, I realise now that obviously when I was making the other one, I decorated the chair first before I stuck these wheels on. I made sure these were black and all the things on the cardboard box were covered up. I didn't have any black paint, so I used pen on here and I covered this up with my black tape. Now I've stuck these on already, but I'm sure I can have a good go at covering up that, making it look pretty later, and the inside as well. The only other thing that I did for my wheelchair was I put a handle coming out this way, which was just a little bit of cardboard sticking backwards on there. Now for the last bit, which is making your emblem for the back. Basically, you can cut out any Iron Age shapes you like. I thought I'd go weaponry here, and I've gone for pikes and a sword. I just covered the ends of these pikes with tin foil. I didn't even glue it on, I just squeezed it on, it stayed beautifully. And I've stuck it all on a barbecue stick. You could use a straw or just a stick from the garden to get it up high above the wheelchair. And I've done the same here. I've just drawn out some Celtic designs and stuck them on sticks to go at the back of my new wheelchair. I think that'll look rather nice out on the parade. So I hope you have a lot of fun making and decorating your avatars. You can even make a background for them. You could draw Lewis landmarks or your friends cheering and waving as you pass by. What are we going to do with these avatars? I've put a sheepskin blanket on, she look chilly. What are we going to do with them now? Well, we're going to have a virtual parade. So you've got to send a photo of your avatar or a little video, maybe 10 seconds of your avatar. It needs to be in landscape mode, not portrait, that way up, so we can knit them all together and make a video. And you've got to send it to this address, Patina2020 Chailey@gmail.com, with your name on it somewhere. And then we will get it into our virtual parade. You have to send it by the 6th of June to get it in that parade. You can be in the video too, but sending it to us gives us permission to use it. Thank you so much for watching the film. I hope that you can make an avatar. We'd really love to have Chailey Heritage in our virtual parade. When COVID is finished, we're going to have a party and an exhibition and bring all the avatars together. So do keep hold of it, keep it safe, and we'll see it again, and we'll see you again.